So the Stellar Blade drama continues. Now, if you don't know, obviously recently we've been covering the whole situation surrounding the Stellar Blade Blood Rail situation, where essentially people have been crashing out over the new character design for Eevee, essentially saying that she looks too young, and some people even going as far as saying that she looks like a child and that you're a PDF if you like her, which of course is absolutely insane. Now, of course, the Shift Up CEO did respond the other day to all of this, which was cool to see. And there's been even more from Shift Up saying that Shift Up says that Eevee wasn't created to be remembered only for her appearance. The studio openly admits that she was designed to be attractive, but says looks are just one part of what makes a character memorable. The team learned a lot from Nikke, and though the team is known for fan service, many players stayed because they liked the characters and the story, which is 100% true. As a person who plays Nikke, that is 100% the case. Lots of people, you know, they look at the character designs, they go, oh, that's crazy. They play the game, they play the story, and they're actually like, wait, hold up a minute. I'm going to stay for the story because, believe it or not, it actually has a really, really great story and some really great events and stuff like that as well. So Shift Up believes that good looks can grab attention, but personality and story writing are what make fans care. Oh my god, that was a hard thing to say for me. I don't know why. But again, yeah, that is going to be the one thing, right? You draw them in with the looks of the characters, they play the game, they're like, oh, that looks cool, and then you give them a good story and they'll stick around, right? That's how you know, this kind of retention works. It's almost a bit like a YouTube video, right? You got that CTR, you know, you got a good looking character, that will be your CTR, and then, you know, you want the average view duration to be up. So for the average view duration, what do? You make a good story. You make a good interactable story that people will want to play and will want to kind of get themselves immersed in. And yeah, of course, that will end up, you know, making the game successful. Director Kim Hyung-tae said that Eve from Stellar Blade was too bland. Because of that, the team changed its approach for Blood Rain. They realized players can connect with a main character who has a strong personality instead of making them as plain as possible, which is 100% true. And I think I'm very excited to see what they do with Eevee's character within Blood Rain, because of course it seems like she's going to have a bit more of a personality and a bit more of something to kind of stick to, right? But that isn't the only thing that people have been talking about whenever it comes to Stellar Blade and Shift Up and all this kind of stuff, because recently a post went viral from a cosplayer called Juna. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I got that wrong. But again, it's absolutely incredible, of course. She says, I don't know, I tried to recreate Eevee's makeup. And yeah, you can see that she is there cosplaying the character. Now, again, will any cosplay be a specific one-to-one exact facial features, exact makeup, exact hair placement, exact costume, exact this? No, of course not. You know, there's never going to be a complete, you know, completely same cosplay, unless maybe you got the, you know, the actor who obviously was scanned in for this, or whoever was scanned in for the Stellar Blade game. You know, you're never actually going to get a one-to-one, like complete, like 100%, this is it. But you're going to get people who look very similar, and people who do a very good job at trying to look like the character. And I do think Juna here actually does a really good job at it. And that is why this has been blowing up so much, right? You know, people have been going to say, asmongold is going to think you're 12 now. Which of course, yeah, people have been angry at asmongold for his takes on stuff like lollies and things like that surrounding this kind of drama, which we covered in the last video. If you guys want to go look at that, I'm saying, uh-oh, careful, because there's a certain sect of people that are going to insist you're a child now, which, yeah, obviously is something that people have been kind of bringing up, right? Because, again, the characters, I think, do look very similar. You can see here, you know, these are the two characters. Now, of course, yes, there are different, like, kind of features that you could probably say are a little bit different. Of course, I feel like, you know, her eye is a little bit wider, I would say. But apart from that, right, I do think they've got it down pretty well, right? I think they do. And I don't think they look like a child, like some people are trying to make it out to be. I think it is so stupid that some people are trying to make it out to be a child, right? People saying, looks almost identical to the trailer, impressive AF. Also, clearly a woman and not a child. Weirdos defeated. And I actually made a post on this. I don't know if it'll come up whenever we scroll through this, but I made a post on this also saying something similar, like, oh, people are going to call you like a 12-year-old or something like that. You know, people are going to say this is a 12-year-old, which, of course, I think it's crazy, because some people in the comments were like, yeah, but this is a cosplayer. But that's the thing, right? The whole point isn't the fact that, oh, I'm saying that this person is exactly Eevee from Stellar Blade. I'm saying that this cosplayer, who is clearly an adult, can look like that, look very close to them, look very similar to them, and still be an adult, right? And that's my point. But people are saying, oh, but it's a cosplayer, it's different. But it's not, because, you know, if an adult is able to pull off this look, well, of course, it's an adult, right? The character itself is of course an adult. If an adult could also look like that, right? I don't know why people have a struggle of understanding that. So again, that's why people have been going so crazy over this post. We're saying, yeah, holy, she looks just identical. Which again, I do think, you know, she does look very, very close to it. Which 100%, right? So stop setting yourself up like this and stand up. So that's literally her. What the hell? Which, yeah, I do think she done a very, very good job. Asmongold would be in shambles if he saw this. Aunties see this and think of children, which, yeah, of course, is the case. They say Stellar Blade haters are weirdly quiet right now, huh? Say, well, would you look at that? Which, of course, yeah, many people are kind of using this as a, hey, you know, we told you so. You know, it is possible for an adult to pull off this look, and it is possible for an adult to look like this. And I'm sure there are many other cosplayers and many other people who don't even cosplay that look very similar to this, right? And you know, it's just starting to come out. And again, you know, this is only within the first couple days of this drama and stuff being around, and people are already giving this a shot. You think about a couple months down the line, whenever people are actually fully cosplaying her and things, there's going to be so many more posts like this, right? And there's going to be so many more examples that people are going to keep on coping about, and they will keep on trying to find ways to make it seem like, oh, you know, that's not right. Well, she doesn't look exactly like her, which is the kind of, you know, what do you call it, thought process that they're going through right now. Everybody's saying, well, look at this cosplayer. She's an adult. She looks very similar to the character. And people are going, well, she doesn't look exactly like her. So, yeah, I was right anyways, which is just like, okay, bro, like, let's be real. Let's be real here. Pack it up. You know, it's okay. You can say that you're wrong. It's okay. But they're saying there must be some mistake. I was told by X, the Everything app, that only 10-year-olds must look like that. 100% true. Said that's pretty darn accurate. Again, anyone saying this character looks like a child is delusional. Has been psyoped by the toxic mid-foids, which again, I don't know about the mid-foids bit. Again, I'm not one to use that word. I mean, I find it a little bit weird whenever people use that word, but I do agree that the cosplay is pretty accurate though. So yeah, I mean, they're right in that, saying, oh no, it's a literal child, which obviously, yeah, some people make fun of that. Oh, here we go. This is my tweet that I put out, and somehow people will still say, but she looks like a 12-year-old. You're a PDF. Okay, bro, pack it up. And yeah, as I said, there's been so many people down here as well, you know, saying looks just like her. It's really good cosplay. So this is funny, someone AI'd this, saying this person's face has been photoshopped, which again, I don't know if it has or not. Maybe it has, but again, it's also one of these things where, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily be, what do you call it? It's one of these things where if it is photoshopped, it doesn't matter anyways, because you think of like shows like Alita Battle Angel, right? Is that a real face? No, of course not. It's been edited, and people were totally okay with that one. But apparently, whenever it comes to editing faces of other people as well, it's apparently a big problem, right? But again, I don't even know if they use Photoshop or not, right? That is something that someone has just randomly claimed in my comment section, right? Saying, where is it? This makes zero sense. She's literally an adult cosplaying as her. Says yes, an adult cosplaying an adult character, which, yeah, I mean, you know, this person makes zero sense. They're saying this makes zero sense, saying like, you know, people will say this is a 12-year-old, but they say this makes zero sense because it's an adult cosplayer. Well, it's because it's an adult cosplayer cosplaying an adult character, and of course it's going to look like an adult if they're cosplaying it and they look similar because they're both adults, right? It's just such a it's so like confusing, and people go down this kind of like huge like mental gymnastics thing when they try to I guess cope about this, and be like, no, but like she's a cosplayer, she's not the real character. It's like, oh my god, right, they look similar though, and she is proved that it is, you know, there are people out there who, you know, can look like this, right? And people still want to cope about it, and yeah, people saying, yeah, she looks identical, and a lot of people saying, woman that told me 12-year-olds can have that face, which again, yeah, is crazy. Not accurate. She's got massive planks, like unlike Eevee. which is crazy. But yeah, of course, yeah, this post has been going absolutely insane. I do think it is quite funny to see people crashing out over it. You know, it is just a normal cosplay post at the end of the day. And yeah, people have managed to get so upset and so sensitive about it that they are, yeah, crashing out on Twitter right now. So yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is to do with this situation. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazo, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.